Yeah, it's the resistance. Yeah, why be up in here? The resistance in here. DNA sound is going down. Pine Hill Zone. Pine Hill Zone. Grab the mic, we on the fucking run. Got these agents stuck in, I'm going done. And yeah, I'm in your fucking skins. She's coming, I brought it in. Styles, pull out the fucking dollars. Coming through, yo, my beats make you fucking holler. You want more, I give it to ya, I feed ya. Styles coming through, and then I bleed ya. With an elbow to the face, disgrace. Fucking around, I kick your ass back to your race. In your place, the styles coming through, yo, I'm about to give face. Grab the microphone and start spitting. Yo, you're ducking, YB coming through, yeah, we fucking hunting.
Peace, y'all. What's good, man? It's your man God Science up in here, man. Thank you guys for watching, subscribing to the channel. This is my music producers that inspire me series, and thank you for watching the Machine Killers. And you know, I hope y'all like my intro. I am not a rapper. I rap over my beats for fun. Maybe I should stop because I know I suck. But anyway, I had to give y'all an intro. Anyway, next up in the music producers that inspired me to make music and just amazed me was, you can see on the screen right there, the one and the only Dr. fucking Dre. It's the digga Dr. Alright, I had to cut that up right there. Yeah, anyways, Dr. Dre, one of the most talented top music producers, period. Alright, and talk about a great fucking engineer. I mean, I don't think everybody gives him credit for being an engineer. But if you listen to the albums that Dre has mixed, you know when Dre mixed an album. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of those producers to me that mastered the art of music, period. You know, if you watched, Straight Outta Compton, you understand a little bit of the story where he came from the World Class Wrecking Crew, which was a group that came out back then in the mid 80s, around that time when they had Egyptian Lover. That was the people that was on the LA scene around that time. It was a different type of hip hop, you know, sound kind of house, in the pretty suits, you know, the tight suits and all that, and then wearing clothes that niggas would call fucking gay now or some shit, but that was the shit back then, looking fly for the ladies. You know what time it is. So anyway, he came out of that, and I didn't hear about Dr. Dre till I heard the first album by NWA, which was a classic to me, Straight Outta Compton. And when I heard that album, I was like, okay, who the hell is this dude, Dr. Dre? Because he got my ear now. And you can tell that he had talent and he was coming with some hard ass shit. Now, you know, he had the perfect music for NWA, which was a groundbreaking group that came out of no fucking where they were doing things and saying shit that you shouldn't be saying on the records. I mean, it was just brand new. It was so dirty and so raw that you had to listen to it. It was like those old Richard Pryor records that my dad used to tell me about, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it was raw, it was uncut, you know, and the beats was banging. And of course it got better and better. Then he came out with the next thing I heard from him was Easy Does It, which I got from Kmart, actually, with my cousin. And I remember getting that album, Easy Does It, and blew my mind again. So now I'm like, okay, Dr. Dre, this dude got some fucking beats. Of course, when we're dealing with NWA and things, I gotta give respect to Yella too, because Yella was right there by his side, you know, helping with the beats and doing things like that, pulling samples for him and shit like that, not taking anything away from either one of them. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Dr. Dre was coming with some shit. And, of course, we all know about the great breakup between NWA. A lot of people say it's because of Ice Cube, No Vaseline, and all this shit. I'm not going to go into the whole history of the NWA, but we know of the breakup and things like that. And they still put up Niggas for Life. You know what I'm saying? Which was a great album to me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's when Dre's sound started changing. Of course, DOC's No One Can Do It Better. That album is fucking insane with the formula. I think that's one of the hottest beats Dre produced, the formula. That was my shit. And when I heard that song is when I was like, all right, this dude's taking it to the next fucking level. Of course, we know he went on a hiatus for a little while. I really didn't hear anything about him with all the NWA things, and then boom! I remember when I was in Brooklyn, I heard Deep Cover, which was on the radio that Red Alert put on, and I was like, oh shit! I mean, Deep Cover is one of the hottest beats that Dre ever did, and it's funny. I heard a interview by him, and he didn't even really like the beat, and I could get that as a music producer because there's a lot of shit that I don't like. Sometimes I make a beat that I don't even like it, and I'll play it for somebody, and they'd be like, "You don't like this shit, man, this shit." So you never know what's people gonna gravitate to. Not saying put me up against fucking Dr. Dre. I'm not worthy. I have a lot more to learn to even stand next to fucking Dr. Dre. But like I said, he started coming up. Deep Cover was one of the hottest songs, and of course he had Snoop in there, which I knew. I'm not just saying that. I knew that Snoop was gonna blow because he was just different and smooth. You know what I'm saying? And he fit so perfectly on Dre's tracks. And Deep Cover was amazing. Amazing song. And that around that time, I don't know if that was 90 or 91. I think it was around 91 or so when Deep Cover came out, which was for a movie, for soundtrack for Deep Cover. And at that time, Dre was, he left NWA. I think that's when he first started going to Death Row and started building that brand. And of course, he came up probably a year or two after Deep Cover with one of the hottest albums to ever, grace hip hop, period. I know it was one of the hottest albums for me. I remember in Brooklyn the day that I bought it, and I sat down and listened to it from beginning to end, and it was like, wow, which is The Chronic. The Chronic is when I think Dr. Dre said, as a music producer, and just he had his own fucking sound, which is called G-Funk. Now, to be fair, I have heard a lot of stories that a lot of people were involved in the making of The Chronic, like Warren G. You know what I'm saying? Daz, which is a producer. Warren G, which is a great producer too, which is Dr. Dre's, I think is his half brother. A lot of people had input into Dr. Dre's The Chronic, the first album. So, and Dr. Dre always worked with with different producers and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Getting inspiration from, but that takes nothing else from him. He is the mastermind. So I gotta say that. But that's Dre. You know what I'm saying? Dre, that one of his hottest albums. I mean, Let Me Ride. A G Thing. I mean, oh my God, I don't know how much times the G Thing used to play on MTV. Back the fucking back. The video was off the hook. The beat was just some smooth riding shit that you could just put in your car and ride. Dre had his own sound, and he had the West Coast on his fucking back, and they was going for it, man. I mean, like I said, I was in Brooklyn, and every fucking car that passed by was bumping nothing but a G Thing. All right, so about this time now, I'm blown away. I'm like, wow, Dr. Dre. So anything that had Dr. Dre name on it, I was fucking grabbing. And The Chronic, I can't even listen to that album, to be honest, right now. I can't listen to it because I have played that shit out so much. I have played it out so much to the point I remember my tape broke, and I went and bought another one. There are probably like 3 copies of The Chronic I bought since when it first came out. You know what I'm saying? And that's a side to tell you that was a hot. The only other tape that I would say I bought mad copies of was Redman, which is one of my favorite hip hop artists of the 90s. You know what I'm saying? But back to Dr. Dre. Of course, I didn't think it's gonna get any better, and boom, he comes with what I will say his hottest work ever. And I know that's hard. That's a big statement to say, but Snoop Dogg's first album, Doggy Style, woo! That's when I was like, yo, this dude he's Dr. Dre. That's when I personally rewarded him like, yo, man, that's one of my favorite producers of all time, because that album from beginning to fucking end, The beats were fucking ridiculous, man. Dre came with it on that fucking album. He came with it. All right. And after he came with that, that's, anything that Dre dropped, it was fucking gold. The Murder She Wrote. Is it the Murder? I don't even. Murder Was the Case. I said Murder She Wrote. Murder Was the Case soundtrack. I remember that soundtrack. And Dre had some shit on it. It was hot. You know what I'm saying? Keep the heads ringing. Anything that he did, you could just tell the perfection in it, the talent, the gift. The dude was just fucking. The dude is freaking bad. Period. All right, and that goes on to everything he did. The only project I said that I didn't really like from him was when he first came with the Aftermath, and he I forgot the name of that album, but he had that song "Been Here, Did That," which was a hot song, but that album just didn't have the, I don't know. Maybe it was because he was going through a transition and trying to do something different. We were so used to hearing Dr. Dre and this gangster G-Funk sound. And of course, he was trying to just do different things. And that's a sign of a real music producer. You know what I'm saying? A music producer that, regardless if he's winning with a formula, he's an artist. He's going to try new things. He's going to experiment, push the envelope, not scared to fail. You know what I'm saying? And those are the producers that we consider the super producers, the ones that are not scared to do things, move things around, break the fucking rules. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he was doing. And another great album that he came out with was the Chronic 2001, which is I remember when that shit dropped. I mean, that album from, like I said, when Dre dropped the album, it was like a fucking soundtrack, a movie. You know what I'm saying? Where you can, the beats, the music is telling a story. Of course, you got the artist that's riding the track, but the music is telling a story. The music is giving you a picture, image. You know what I'm saying? When I first listened to that album, it felt like I was walking with him in California, riding in his ride next to him with the music. And the music took you on a fucking ride. And that's what I can, when a producer can do that to me, that's what I call a great producer, man. That's what I call a great producer. And I mean, Dr. Dre inspired so many people, dude. Not only me, so much people. He just recently dropped, of course, the Detox. One thing I didn't like about Dr. Dre is that how he took so fucking long to come out with a damn album. I remember the buildup of Detox, and I was so fucking excited that, oh my God, he's gonna finally drop it. It never came out. We know that. He dropped 2 singles. It was, I forgot the name of the first one. Was it Kush or some shit like that? I can't remember. I think it came out like probably 2009, 10. But anyway, he's supposed to drop that album. It never came out because he's a perfectionist. We all know that he's a perfectionist. But, that's one album that I wish came out. But he did come back recently with the Straight Outta Compton album, and he put out a soundtrack, which I think was one of the hottest albums to drop that fucking year. One of the hottest albums that I've heard in a while, and that is his soundtrack. Now, a lot of people don't like it. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not being biased, even though I like Dr. Dre. I listened to that album, and I love it. I love it from beginning to end. It's hot. It has that tight shit on it. Especially I think a song called Satisfaction, which is one of the hottest songs I think on that album. Dr. Dre came with it, and he actually had a hot ass song with DJ Premier, which is another producer that inspired me, which I'm gonna do a video on him soon. And I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just trying to snatch producers. There's so much producers that have inspired me over the years to want to push myself to become that great, which is a lot of hard work, a lot of fucking hours, tuning your ear. Producers out there, I don't even have to tell you. You know how much hard work this shit is. It might look easy to a lot of people. It might be a little easier now because people have more access to, programs. They can download the Fruity Loops and things like that. But you can still pick out the ones that have something from the ones that just know how to work a fucking a software. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Dr. Dre, one of the hottest music producers out there, still is hot. Anytime he does a project or anything, like I said, that Compton soundtrack, if y'all haven't heard it, y'all go pick that up. The mastering on that album, and you will hear what I'm talking about. The mastering on that album is so fucking clean. You know, you can tell that Dre has fucking mastered his goddamn ear. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's a billionaire now with his invention of the Beats by Dre's headphones that all of us probably have a dose. So the man just wins. You know what I'm saying? How can you not be inspired by that? Anyway, man, thank you guys for watching. I will be back with some more producers. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, subscribe and like. Thank you for watching. Peace.